sent up from Mars. He tripping, I put that on guard. I got the digits, but I am not calling. Wizard at night, this be that forum. I'm just gonna stack with that. Sunshine after that. Just gonna stack with that. Sunshine after that. So yeah, you know, I had a conversation with her, but it's like the signals is always crossed. I mean, like, I say yes, cause she asked me to say yes. And then she's like, I didn't want you to say yes. I wanted you to understood that a yes was required to answer the question. I was like, what?
What? Oh my God, the applause is so faint. I'm in my feelings. Anyway, welcome to Spot, the Stacked After Hours Spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folk Talk. It's October, y'all, and we are fully into cuffing season. In this month, we're going to be focusing on a 4-part series around cuffing and the types of relationships that evolve from that start of cuffing. So get your cocktails ready, get those questions going, because we want to hear your comments and questions from everybody. And here at SI, we keep it what? Lit and enlightening. So let's bring in my girl. I haven't seen her in a minute. Where's my Ace Montaigne? First I thought it was Tweety Bird. Then I realized it was like the thing. Hey, Sunshine.
It's sunflowers.
Oh, it's sunflower.
Unusual. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cuffing season. So we decide it's cuffing season. And I feel like at cuffing season at our age is a little different. Either you're cuffing for convenientship, companionship, courtship, or commitment. But tonight we're going to talk about the convenience of cuffing, and what kind of relationships happen, how do they form, and where are we now? I feel like it's a little bit of a trifecta. So Anthea, when you think of convenientships, how do you define it?
A relationship of convenience where um, it's convenient for either party. So it's like, think about I think about this metaphor like a shirt in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Want a nice t-shirt that you're going to pull out. It's convenient, it's comfortable. You go to it from time to time, but you take out the good stuff when it's convenient for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you wear it once in a while. It's
Mm-hmm.
loyal, but you don't wear it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Only special occasions.
Only on special occasions, or maybe it's your favorite pair of house shoes, but that's all they are your favorite pair of house shoes.
There you go.
And they just feel comfortable whenever you put them on. It could be a consistent convenience shit.
Absolutely. And I think I talked about it in the chat. First of all, if anybody wants to come in the chat, please come in because
Yes,
it's
lit.
a lot of activity in there. But one of the things I said today is that because I think the question was, do you know when you're in a convenience ship? And there's two types of language. Somebody clearly stating, hey, this is all I want, or they don't have the nonverbal sometimes speaks louder than the actual words. And so if someone is aloof and nonchalant or not calling or is not making any plans to see you in the future, but when it's convenient, let me pull that shirt out because, I need it now. And then I'll put it back in the closet when I don't need it.
Okay.
So I think sometimes we need to learn to read those two languages. Also, for ourselves, if we know we just want a matter of convenience in our relationships, I think we need to clearly say that as well.
I think that's easier said than done. And that's why it becomes all these other things in are convenientships? Because there's levels to this shit. If we
Are
really
you saying that people are getting confused?
I think people are getting confused. I think there is levels. I think it is drama. I think it is what spawns out of various types of other relationships out of convenientships. And we're going to talk about the verbal, the nonverbal. What do you do if you're in one? What if you do if you choose to make it that? So on and so forth. So let's go ahead and introduce our guests.
Storybox Audio.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what the claps are cracking me up. Yes, bravo, Sanjay. Let's welcome back to the show. He said he simply believes conveniences are simple. You just don't want to be in a committed relationship. Malcolm Jones, welcome back.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Thank you for welcoming me back.
Thank you. Somebody said a convenience is when all desire sex, commitment, and companionship, and you settle for just two. My cousin, my kinfolk.
That would be me.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Next.
Good to be back.
Yes, welcome, Dana. Next, he said you may settle for less than you need, but what you really want, but you still should communicate that convenientship. This is how Keith Walker, my other boo, my other half, defines convenientships. And then finally, of course, she says she lives in a convenient ship. Let's welcome back Miss Stacey Bowers from Ready to Love. Thank you,
Hey,
Stacey.
everybody.
Hello.
Hey. So when y'all hear and when y'all think about convenient ships, when you think about your experience, what comes to mind? I'm gonna start with Dana.
Let's go, Cuzzo.
Come on, kinfolk.
Okay. Well, you gave me the assignment. I turned in my homework.
Uh-huh.
So, I had to define convenientship. And so all relationships, when it's with someone you're attracted to, so just to be clear, it's someone that you could possibly be attracted to. The components of that relationship are companionship, sex, and commitment.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm always intrigued by the conversations we have with Stacked After Hours because I had to go Google serious relationships last week. Because what I learned
Google serious relationships.
Well, I need to make sure when I'm learning, I am a serial monogamist. Okay. So I am all about relationships. Okay. So I had to go. So I said, let me Google it and make sure I'm talking about the same thing that everybody else is talking about. Okay. And with this homework, what I realized was I have a lot of convenientships based on my own definition. Mm-hmm. There are different people in different stages of relationship with me. Okay. And I realized that was probably a pattern of behavior of the women. So I want to say that it was kind of taught to me that you have to cultivate spares.
So hold that, Dana. Hold that.
Wow.
Hold the cultivate spares.
Woo, child.
Wow.
Wait, do I need to learn about this whole Cosby thing? Is that a Cosby thing or something going on?
There's a lot of us. There is a lot of us.
I plead the fifth on that one. I'm gonna plead the fifth. Okay.
Cultivate spares. Okay, hold on. So cultivating spares. I like that. We're gonna hold that one right there because that's gonna take us into a whole nother.
Okay.
Yes, but I cultivating spares. I'll actually like to expand on that in a minute. Guys, first of all, when y'all hear the word convenientship, what comes to mind in your experience? I'm gonna start with Malcolm.
Okay. I don't know. I guess when I was doing what I was doing, I didn't call it convenientship.
What'd you call it, Malcolm?
It didn't have a title. I was just single.
You were just single.
I was single. That was it. But that was in my 20s and 30s. You know, I was single for a long time purposely. So it didn't have a title. So now
So yours is it's either you're very, it sounds like you're very black and white. It's either you're
yes,
committed or you're not. There's
yeah,
no
yeah,
convenient ships. There's no, you
nah,
didn't have booty calls.
yeah.
Exactly.
But when in that space, like when I was in that space, it was purposely though. Like you know, I was just single for years purposely. So everybody was in that boat.
But
But
Michael, but I'm sorry, Malcolm,
yes,
did you have someone that you called all the time for those booty calls, or was it different people?
it was different people. It wasn't.
Oh,
Oh,
It was
so
like.
you were a poly convenient ship. You had poly relationships in your convenient ships.
I guess
It
if
was
you,
never just you had a starting five or a football team.
I had a few, you know, at that time,
You
but I was in my 20s and my 30s, you know, like in my 40s and 50s. Nah, I didn't. That wasn't, you know, I wasn't. That wasn't the wave. So that's why it's kind of weird for people in our 40s and 50s to still be in that space. And I'm like, what's going on with that? You know, it's kind of weird, but they're out there though. They are out there. There's a lot of them. People I know, they tell me these things and stuff like that. So I get it. I think those are the ones that they have is convenient, but there's no title because then there's no responsibility. There's no accountability to
I
it.
think you said a key word: no responsibility and no
Right.
accountability.
That's where it is. So, you
That's
know, it's like, okay, it's convenient ship. I do everything like a girl, a man, but I ain't the man.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
look
saying?
like
So, right,
Look like a boyfriend, act like a
like a
boyfriend, but
boyfriend,
you
look
right,
like a
exactly.
girlfriend, act like a girlfriend. She gonna be in her feelings if she see this next chick next to me.
Right.
Stacy, you said you live in a convenience ship. Please expound upon that, girl, because that is
Yeah, yeah, that
hilarious.
one.
Well, it's just a phase in my life where I like things being easy. Like everything in life for us adults is kind of hard. And
Mhm.
so it's just like your safe space.
It's just your okay.
I'm emphasizing it. It's your safe space where, you know, let your hair down. It's what it is. I'm too grown for it to be called a booty call because I mean, we grown enough where we do a come over, but we not doing booty calls at this age, honey.
What's the difference between a come
I was
over
about to
and a
say.
booty call?
Because
Sounds like
a
Brandon.
come over, you might bring your spend a night bag. You're allowed to
Ah,
bring a spend a night bag.
oh, booty
Oh,
calls.
booty calls.
What booty
Booty
call you
calls.
gotta go home or something?
You know that's right.
Oh,
Oh, I did
You
not
gotta
know that.
I
go.
ain't know that. I ain't never. Yeah, I thought they were
See,
all the same.
I'm not too familiar with those just because like I feel like during the ages that I should have been doing booty calls, I was married AF. But now it's just like you grown and you can't just be doing the most. You gotta do enough. A
So,
convenience
so
ship is
that
enough.
is a boutique.
But
All right.
I will say when I Googled it, they try to say what they want us to believe is that a convenience ship is like more or less a type of relationship where you're in it for the convenience, but both partners are too lazy to get out of it. But I'm looking at it
Right.
like
Oh,
it's
okay. Yeah.
a selective option that I'm choosing. This is who I'm comfortable. I'm good. I'm good. It's convenient. We got a schedule. You know my work schedule. It's about operating on a easier lifestyle.
Okay. Somebody called it Southern booty call. I do declare.
I do declare,
I
though,
do
because
declare.
you will not booty call me over here. No.
Mm-mm,
So,
But
mm-mm.
you could sleep over call you.
A come over?
I
come
come
over.
over.
like,
I
Yeah.
just need
Yeah,
to
see,
know the different terminology.
No, there
You
is.
might
It
have
sounds like there's
dinner.
a class.
You might go and
yeah, I
have
don't know.
dinner. They ain't taking you to dinner on a booty call.
It's just booty.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
I
You gonna
got
got
have
you.
you.
dinner.
It's just
Got it.
booty. Yeah.
And then
Makes
you can
sense.
wake up. There's no walk of shame with a come over. When you got to spend a night bag, it's no walk of shame. You don't have to leave at 3 a.m. Booty calls you out before dusk.
Oh, okay, okay,
Got
got it.
you. Nobody
oh,
should see
Oh,
you
I'm sorry.
coming
Before
or
what's it
leaving.
called? Dawn. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, it's
before dawn.
dawn. My
Dawn.
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith, what about you, babe?
Okay.
You
What's the
said
original?
convenient
Yeah.
ships. What did you say? You said
Yeah.
a
So
convenient. Yep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I kind of agree with where Stacey was going, though. It's to me, convenientship isn't necessarily a bad thing because it just depends on where you are and what you're looking for in a relationship. And as long as both people are cool with it, then it's fine. To Malcolm's point, at this age, I would hope that we would call that more dating with purpose. But some people are lazy daters too, and they just, I think what you guys were talking about in the beginning of the show, it may just be that it's an old shoe, so it's just easy to go into, and it's there, and it's when you need somebody to show up or you need to get you got somebody to call to do it, or you got somebody to go to a show with. You that can be done too. So I think to me those are convenience shifts, but that's to Malcolm's point, I'll still see that as dating, but dating with a purpose of not being committed, if that makes sense.
Dating.
Because you get it when you need it, you get what you want when you need it, but you don't have to deal with the price of commitment and dealing with the things you may not want to deal with or the extra pieces that comes to being in a committed relationship.
So go ahead, Anthony. But I wanted to put,
as long as both parties are aware. I think where it gets the confusion is one is thinking that they're in a relationship and the other is like, I ain't never told you I was in no damn relationship with you.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about it too, because I think that happens a lot. And hopefully at this age we move with a little bit more purpose. But you're right, when we're 20, I know for a fact that I was never really clear about every single thing I was doing or not.
Well,
so,
we're not 20 anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Excuse me, we're 50 and people are still moving like this. I need for us to be real about it.
I agree.
Because Dana broke it down well, and I took it and made it a graphic. So Dana, I'm giving you credit for it. Go on, Logic. Let's put it up there so we could see the certain types of convenience ships that we have. So types of convenience ships, and these are just 3. You could probably have an infinite number of variables, but the situationship, which is very popular in what we talk about today, companionship and sex, commitment and sex, minus a companionship, loveless marriage.
What's that?
Wow. And then the commitment and the companionship minus the sex, a platonic romance. That's interesting.
Wow. That's real shit right there. That's real good.
And I think a lot of people end up in number 1.
A situationship?
Yes.
I think a lot of people end up in number 2 too, and that's how people get divorced.
I
think it's 1. It's mad ones out there. Mad
ones.
It's mad. It's crazy ones out there, and they don't. I think the ones are out there, and they don't even realize they're a one until they're in.
Exactly.
They be like, "Oh snap! I'm in this. It's what I planned." And then I think the optimistic part of a person hopes it's going to change, and then you're in it a little longer than you should have, and it may or it may not. You just don't know.
So, Kent, let's roll it back. We can come back. Thank you, Montaigne. With the situationship, and then Stacey says she lives in a situation, and then Dana, you said something earlier. What did you say that you weren't breathing? What was your? I just lost it.
Cultivating Spar.
Cultivating Spar.
Well, it's about your goals to be in a relationship. So if you never want to be single, which I come from so yes, it's not my family thing. It might be my community, my village thing. Is you don't want to be single, okay?
The stigma
these women give you advice. So cultivating
a stigma. Is it a stigma of being single?
Well, yeah, like it's relationship goals. It's like you want to win, so you want to always be winning. So you always have. So this is an old school, so I cannot take any credit for it. Cultivating a spare is something I heard in my 20s. Okay, It's like you got to cultivate your spares, and then so when you go into a relationship, it doesn't work out. Then you go check your traps. Okay.
Wow, girl, you real Kentucky.
You can Google check the traps. Okay.
Oh snap!
I think the Caribbean version is never travel without a spare tire.
Right. I mean, and you guys are the ones. This is game that women came up with. Okay. to deal with whatever, like, like Malcolm was saying, I was just single. Okay. Well, that doesn't work for most women. Like, we're like, look, we got some goals here. So what you lead with, right? So think about your calling card with men. So, and I'm not trying to quote Kevin Samuels. I just think he hit upon something that was pretty obvious to me when I was a teenager. Is the calling card for women is sex. So that was my leverage. Guys are like, I don't want to commit without sex. If there's no sex, I'm not committing.
Word.
Women, a lot of women are like, I'm not having
Committing.
sex unless there's some level of commitment.
Right.
So, these are very old school concepts. That's what I was saying. It's very old school, very traditional, very women had to work. I mean, when I started out my first relationships, I was told that men decide which one you are very early. So like they tell you whether you're wife material or fun material. There are guys who still say that today. They kind of make that assessment very early.
So let's talk.
In their dealings with you.
Let's be in this space. Let's be in this space of assessment, because I'm sure we all have had situationships, thinking we're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. People waver.
We're working toward that.
Right. They waver on that commitment line, but they like the companionship. They like the sex. Right. So what are your markers at this point? Because I feel like it's also the age that we're at. What are the markers when y'all get to this point? It's like, okay, this is going to be a situationship. It ain't going to be a relationship. What are the things? What are those factors that take you into that? I'm gonna go ahead and start with Stacy.
What are the factors that lead you into a
situationship versus a relationship for you at this point?
I don't exactly know what leads you into one. I just know that there's indications that you're in one, right? Mm-hmm. So someone wanting to spend more time with you, or you wanting to spend more time with them, someone that you might be cool with, and then like the romantic aspect of your ship is increasing at a rapid rate. An ex reemerging, wanting to get back with you. Mm-hmm. All of these things coincide with the concept of cuffing, right?
Right.
So it's not, and the pressure of not being alone during the holidays, because it's the social pressure, especially in our Black community, where our family members and our friends are always pressing us about this imaginary timeline for our lives, for our uterus, for your peen, for these eggs, for who gonna eat this mac and cheese. It exists. And then don't nobody want to be cold all winter. Who want to lay up by themselves every day from October to, well, technically cuffing season begins on November the 1st. We in
the draft, girl.
No. It's October the 4th, baby. We in tryouts. We in tryout season right now. We passed the draft. You got scouting. You got the draft. You got tryouts. You got the preseason. You got the full-blown cuffing season. Then you got playoffs. And the championship game is when, everybody? Say it with me.
That's right.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Right. But Stacy, so we know the rhythm of cuffing, right? But
I ain't know it. It's the first I heard of
you
that.
You never heard the rhythm of cuffing?
No, I've heard
that's the season. That's the
I've heard of cuffing. I've heard of cuffing season. I thought it was like younger folks, like late 30s, early 40s.
Well, I'm early 40s.
Right. So, but then as she broke it down, like I ain't never heard all that. I was like,
but wow. Malcolm, think about it. When do you normally get in relationships? When do y'all normally start a new relationship? Is it just whenever, or is it in a particular season?
Yeah, there's no particular season.
Nah, it's not.
There's no particular season to it. I mean, from a guy.
No, it's not cold or hot. If you really think about it, I guarantee you it was probably
No,
not.
I think
I grew up in the Caribbean. It's hot all the time.
Oh, it's
yeah.
not
So I
all.
mean, to
Right.
your
So,
point,
you know,
generally, yeah, that's about to say. It depends on
yeah,
where you are. So I mean, I grew up
I'm
in New
yes,
Orleans,
it
and
depends on
being
where
in
you are.
California,
You
it was
may
the
be
same
in
pretty
New
much year
York,
round. And here it's
right? It
I'm
might,
from the I'm from
Yeah.
the South. It's hot all the time. But what we do have are holidays. We have these
yeah,
Exactly.
seasons
right.
where you have to be in
Right.
front of
Yes.
somebody.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's a mad dash to find somebody.
To go to go to the
Because
to go to the
hold up,
event. Yeah.
Malcolm, because I swear I'm bringing somebody to Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah. And you got
Okay.
and you got the holiday parties.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Who gonna sit there and park the car and hold my seat down while I'm chatting? Who gonna do that?
I
You
got
got
it.
them already
Oh,
drafted, Stacy.
I'm not knocking the hustle. I got it. It's just as she broke it down, I was just like, wow, all right,
So as we thank you,
real
Stacey,
out here.
thank you for breaking it down. Thank you for breaking down the season because I think it's important. But I think it's a little different, and maybe it's not different at this age. I think over 40, we're like, okay, am I cuffing for life, or is it still just a convenient thing that I was doing in my
Right,
20s?
I think
right.
it's both.
You think it's
It
both?
it
Yeah, I don't.
depends on your relationship journey up
Mm-hmm.
until that point. So for someone like me, where I was married all of my dang on life, right now I'm cool. If I meet Mr. Right, great. If not, I got a handcuff somewhere.
But I think about it like this, though. I mean, Natalie, you kind of touched on it earlier. For
Right,
men, we a lot of times will move into a relationship because it's working based on what we need. I don't know if we move with as much purpose when it comes to a cuffing season as women would do,
right.
because
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think. I mean, Malcolm, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's
That's
not. It generally it's not that purpose for us. If we vibe, we rocking with you, we like you, and again, it goes back to Dana's point. If you got to start in five and you at the top of the starting five, and we taking it to a next level, then everybody else may get cut to the wayside, but it's still going to be, that's where it's at. It's because we've eventually moved to that place, and that's where we are. Not,
right.
I'm going to say, I got to be locked down with this one because it's cuffing season.
Yeah, we
But
don't. That's as they say. That's doing too much.
Yeah,
You doing too much. You got to break it down by season. It's like if you vibing, you rocking, and you go from there. We don't, as Keith said, it's not like, oh, it's October 2nd, and it's like,
right.
yo,
Damn, we
you ain't
going
even
in. We
thinking
got the
about
draft now.
Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's even. We thinking about tomorrow. That's who we are. We're not thinking about Thanksgiving, Christmas. But I think maybe how women might think. They might think that much ahead and
I
purposeful.
ain't thinking about that either.
Yeah, like ain't nobody. Like
I'm
it
not
wasn't
thinking
much
about
today in New Jersey, so I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to think about the cold yet.
somebody says it's too warm to be cuffing. Holla at me in 2 months. But you got to start now. It gets cold quick up here
Exactly.
in New York.
Yeah, it do get cold quick.
It does. So I want to go back to and I want us to kind of stay in this space because we're talking about cuffing to convenient ships and situationships and all these other things. What are when you think about it? Because I feel like the key thing that I feel with convenient ships is the lack of commitment. So it's like, are we at this age just being like, I really don't have to commit to something. I really don't want to commit to something. And why do we feel comfortable? I mean, Stacey, you talked about it before as you being divorced and single, enjoying being single. But I think there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, I want a relationship, but realizing they're more so in possibly a situationship or a convenientship or whatever, a platonic romance or whatever it is. So how do is there a fear of possibly just committing or choosing the wrong person? Let's talk, let's kind of unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
Dana, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, because I actually like being married. So I'm not currently married,
Uh-huh.
but I like being married. I like having that part of my life settled, you know, reliable, steady. I like knowing where to make my investment and commitment and prioritization, so that it frees me up so I can focus on other things that are important to me. So I've always liked, so I got married young. I've been married twice. Like, I like having that part settled in my life. And I did grow up around married people. So I kind of saw the benefits, the stability, the benefits of having a continuous same partner for long periods of time, how much that supports the other things that you're doing in your life, whether it's kids or career. And so I would say, I know I gave you guys a lot of game, because that's just the way it was taught to me, is there's finesse and game to this. But what I've realized is now, and I think that's what Stacey was saying, our priorities change, our needs change. And so I'm not as interested in the game and the finesse anymore. So Keith, I did not say I have a starting five. I just said I might have a, red shirt or wait list just in case. That just in case of emergency, you got your wait list, and I'm on their wait list too. So let's just be clear. I think Stacey, they mentioned that, those people you had a relationship with and it just didn't work out.
Right.
What you had, it was good, but for various reasons in their mind and your mind, there's potential still there, untapped, unresolved. Those are your more likely people. That's what, when you check your traps, you go back and say, let me go see if that person is still feeling me. Like, we had a really good thing, but it just didn't work out.
You stick your tail out and see if they smell it.
Yeah, you go back and how, so what was it, Pastor Toure? Somebody was saying, okay, I'm laughing because they're like, Dana's just out here in the streets. But you have, Pastor Toure is like, men do this really well. So if you guys are like, where did you learn this? Men, they have this thing where they check in with you. There are guys who I have not talked to in 10 years, 15 years, will just see a text.
They'd be like, what up, girl?
Yeah,
exactly.
like, it's out of the blue.
What are you doing?
Out of the blue. They just checking to see.
Still look good.
Still feeling them. I mean, they don't say,
They put you on ice, Dana. That's what it is.
No, it's not even that. They be like, what up, though? I'd be like,
no, it's fishing.
Yeah,
It's fishing. Don't make a mistake about it. We're fishing to see what you're going to bite with, or how are we going to come back to you. And that's it. If there's anything open and you say, well, hey, what's going on with you, and you entertain it, then we're like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about.
Let's see what's
exactly right.
Yeah.
Listen, there's about one or two guys in every girl's DMs that say hi almost every day, that doesn't even get answered. And so there is one or two guys in every girl's DMs that if it break in case of emergency.
But the problem is, okay, just like men, I've been told, the guys they have their chance. This is what I've been told. The guys determine whether you're commitment material very early. They start assessing your qualifications.
So guys, that's why I think that was the question I asked Stacey. For guys, what woman goes into the situationship or the ConvenientShip, and what woman goes into, I gotta lock her down?
I can, if Natalie, if you don't mind, I can share, because I think we talk about this too, is how we met. When I'm coming out of a divorce, I told you specifically I wasn't necessarily looking for anything serious. You told me what you were looking for. So I said, oh, okay, well, let's see what happens and see what we're talking about. And then all of a sudden we wind up vibing and we're in a committed relationship. The way you approached the situation made me take a pause and say, okay, well, yeah, I have to take you seriously and treat you differently, because you presented yourself to move with purpose. So if you came to me and said, oh, well, I just want to have fun and I want to do whatever, then I wouldn't take you as serious, because you didn't go into the relationship or enter in our conversations in moving with your purpose and what your intended in your relationship goals were. And I think Dana mentioned that before. It's really about clearly identifying your relationship goals and articulating that. If you didn't say that, and if you were completely vague, then you're right. You would have been put on the shelf to say, okay, well, let me see what happens here and let's see what this is about. But because you came so correct, I was like, oh, well, shit, I need to take you seriously and say, let me make sure that I'm understanding what's going on with you, and I show up well enough to represent who I need to be for you.
So if she never said that in the beginning, but later on said that, you're saying what? She lost the opportunity? Is that what it is?
No. It's more like what Malcolm and I were talking about, is everybody is pretty much open and fair game until we figure out where we're moving in a relationship to see if you're not upfront with what your purpose is, then it may move into that space to where it gets more serious. But in the beginning, if we both saying we're just dating just to say that we're dating, then it is a convenient ship. If your needs are being met by the time that we have and spend together, my needs are being met by the time we have and spend together, then we're good. But if we make a decision to say that now we're going to be more committed and we want to be, and Natalie, you told me that's the same thing as Dana. It was almost like I'm talking to the same person. A serial monogamous. That must be a Cosby thing. Some Cosby thing or something.
Shit. I'm telling y'all.
And I was like, okay, well, serial monogamous. I'm like, do I need to be scared and worry about this, or is this really is this a serious thing? So I was like, all right, well, I'm taking note of that.
But we kind of talked a little bit on the chat as well today about the fact that feelings do come into play sometimes. Sometimes you could start out as a ConvenientShip and then end up having feelings.
Absolutely.
Then people change what it is. You can change your perspective. In the beginning, you can always say, listen, this is a ConvenientShip. Or in the beginning, you can always say, I want a relationship. And then you want a ConvenientShip instead of a relationship, and vice versa. So people have a right to change.
That's a good point at the end. I think that's one of the things that at this age, and I think back to your point, Malcolm, we don't take enough time to communicate what our intentions and our purpose are.
Yes.
We talk through stuff and we become vague, and we don't really give a straightforward answer about really what we're looking for. So you're right, a ConvenientShip can turn into a committed relationship in the case of ours, or it can go the opposite direction, that it can be a committed relationship, but it can actually go through and say, okay, well, we're good. We don't need to be in a we don't need to be a committed relationship. We're both ready for a commitment. I mean, not a commitment, sorry, a ConvenientShip. And that's okay too. But I think the whole thing is like, for dudes, I don't know that we always move with that much purpose. I think we talked about this before. Dudes will control the relationship in terms of when we're official and when we're not, and women control sex. So we're always trying to figure out the balance between the two.
I have a question for the dudes. Do y'all move in a mind of a ConvenientShip until it's not?
I do.
You do.
Are y'all waiting for the woman to say what she wants before y'all say it, or y'all saying it first?
Malcolm,
it depends on the woman.
Does it even matter what she wants? Do you guys let her?
Yeah. Now.
No.
Now. When I'm in my 20s or 30s, that conversation is totally different. But now in your 40s, you're close to your 50s, the conversation is way different. They're not even comparable. They're not even like 20s and 30s. If I look, I'm two different people.
Yeah.
Way. And not like that was bad, but they're two different. You can articulate things a little bit differently. You can hear things differently. You can communicate them a little differently. So I think if you're a dude with purpose, you communicate that and articulate that from the gate.
You want her. So I think this is where men and so you want her to tell you what she wants.
Or if I ask her, like, yo, what are you looking for? Like, I'll ask, like, well, what do you, where are you at? Where are you at in this dating?
But this is you today. This is not you.
Yeah.
This is not you before.
So Malcolm, how long does it take you to ask that if you are interested? Normally.
Yeah. It's according to how you talk to the person. If you talk to them a lot, you'll find out quick. Right. But if you don't talk to them like once and then like a week later, then that means you gotta try to get all your stuff in then, because there's not a consistent communication. So if you meet somebody on Monday and then you might talk to them again on Tuesday or Wednesday, in that time frame, you're having some consistent conversation, and it's just going that way kind of naturally. Because then you might say, well, okay, well, hold on, I done talked to you like 2-3 days. Or she may meant like, all right, hold on, what are you looking for? What are you expecting? Are you married? All of that stuff. I think it comes up quicker now.
So I have for the ladies at this age, are you not, I don't want to say are we scared? Are we apprehensive to say what we want? Whether it's a ConvenientShip or not. Stacey, are you apprehensive in saying if he's interested and you're uncertain, how do you maneuver through that?
Well, we too grown to not feel comfortable enough to set boundaries.
Okay.
Right. Right.
That's all it is. Sounds like Malcolm prefers the woman to set the boundaries and establish the fence. I mean, that's what I was hearing, but I may be wrong. But in woman ears, that's what I heard from you. So you might have to mansplain that a little better. But for me, I don't have a problem setting boundaries because I know what my expectations are for me in my life.
Nah, you don't.
I don't want nobody trying to overstep my boundaries because cuffing season ain't limited. A convenientship you're not limited to one person. So I'm gonna need us to all be in our role.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody about to blow up my spot.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, Steve. So you got 4 ties and a starting 5, possibly.
Well, I mean, what did good cousin Dana call it? We called it. Hold up, I wrote it. I wrote that. I got them in the kitchen. I got them on the back burner.
You got to cultivate a spare.
You got to cultivate my spare tire in case.
And it's very transparent. So I just want to say, this is not sneaky link. This is obvious. So everybody knows what's going on. So a guy knows when he's the spare. You know when you're the spare. You know when you don't have a starting lineup. You have one person, your main person, and that's it. If you're trying to do real relationship, you got to do one person at a time.
How do you know when you're a spare?
Huh?
How do you know when you are a spare?
Okay, so I'm ever one.
Now I am saying from the men that know they're my spare is someone who we had already made we had already gotten to that point where it was obvious that we liked each other. That thing that builds companionship, but it never went any further. So for them, to me, they're like a potential person that I never got to find out, right? The fish that got away, the person for whatever reason. And people have this, it's a very romantic notion, right? There's that person, what if person, right? Okay. I don't know how it works in the mind of guys. It's just a very romantic notion. These people, like Malcolm's going to go back to his homecoming and reconnect with somebody. Like there's spares, there's people out there that you've gotten to a certain point, but it didn't work out. Like you graduated or you married somebody else or something. If everybody's honest.
The comments are hilarious.
Okay, you might have spared
an F buddy to me.
You know, like, and I'm a relationship person, so that's a lot. Like Natalie saw the equations. I don't know your ability to have all these people in your life. You got to be honest about that. Not everyone.
Let's time out. Let's say we don't have all these people in our lives.
That's a lot of bandwidth that you got to have all that.
Yes, it is.
But time out. Let's bring it back. Let's say you don't have all those people in your life. Right. Most of y'all have been married. Was some of these marriages formed out of convenientships, or were they convenientships, or did they become convenientships?
I think my second marriage would have been a person. So I was married, I got married young. So I established myself as a married person very early in adulthood. So that made everybody, unavailable to me. So if you had an interest in me or whatever, I cut that off very early. I was married by 25.
Right.
So anybody.
But you said your second marriage was what?
Well, because I got divorced. So then that's why this time when I got divorced, I didn't tell anybody. Because all the spares come out as soon as they realize your relationship status has changed. Like I did not change it on my website. People check if you're wearing your ring. Like there's the way relationships work. People are looking for good people who are available. So sometimes they find out somebody got divorced. That creates an opportunity for someone, especially at our age. There's so many changes that can happen in your lifetime. And so people are on the lookout for the opportunity. So I would say my second marriage was somebody who I met, who knew me before, and we never had a relationship, but it's like their timing of when to reach out coincided with my availability, right? Their timing.
It sounds like you had some stalkers, some dudes out on the hunt for you.
Yeah, they sniffed you out.
I mean, I don't think it's negative. I think people want, you like who you like. I just think you need, like I said, commitment is real. Just because, and okay, maybe this is a Cosby thing. The men in my family were very popular with women. Okay, very popular, right?
They have a whole bunch of side convenient ships.
But I watched these men, once they decided they were committed, then they cut it. That's a real thing for them, right? Okay, I know Natalie's like, okay, we can't say it for all of them. It's not consistent.
We can't say that, Dana.
That's why I'm saying
family, but anyway.
they were monogamish. Okay,
they
monogamish.
Monogamish.
So I want to get. I do. Yeah. They were
90% monogamous. You know what I mean? Oh, substantially monogamous. Okay, like I think that's a lot of people. That's what commitment looks like for a lot of people. Is I am mostly 99% or 90% of the time monogamous.
Can we say 75% monogamous? Let's be real to it.
I mean, I'm just saying, everybody knows what they are.
Man.
Right. I mean, I mean,
most of the people I know, most of the women I know, okay, it's a lot easier because I just think, somebody said 80, that's high. Like, I just don't, when I talk to my male friends, their ideal is 2 women. If they were able to decide how many women they could be with, and there was no stigma and no law against it, they would have 2. No woman, none of my friends want more than 1 husband. They were like, I don't want more than 1.
I think that's what they're saying publicly.
Right, but that's why they won't say it publicly. Right, they will not say it privately. They will not admit they want 2 husbands, but men will say it. Okay.
Matthew is hilarious.
My brother, Max.
I know. Somebody please respond to him.
Oh my gosh, that's my brother. Anyway,
Our Thanksgiving might be popping over there.
Look, he's out my
There's a lot of us. So we were talking about relationships, serious relationships that may become convenient ships, or you think they were convenient ships, and it to me is somewhat of a state of mind. Is it like I need to get either you're having a checklist, or if you get into certain relationships, especially now. Stacey, you shaking your head.
No, I wasn't shaking at you. I was shaking at these adult children that make me want to run to my convenience ship right now.
What? What? What do you mean, Stacey?
They in here trying to talk to me while I clearly have something I'm talking about with y'all.
Oh, I did see someone.
I said this.
They let us know they were available. I saw that. They said, Stacey B, I am available for cuffing. I saw that one.
Right. So
well, he was talking about handcuffing. I think he just want to be handcuffed to something.
Okay. Okay.
So we're talking about the metaphor cuffing.
Okay. Yes.
But back to the idea of these relationships of convenience. Like, are there certain displays of behavior that make you think you've seen or just act, or what made this all come about? Like certain displays and behaviors that you have witnessed, or even you have actually performed to keep this in a place of convenience. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking you kind of know, right? If you're not, well, you know,
if you're paying attention, if you're reading the team,
either you're not paying attention, or you're not reading, or you're closing your eyes on purpose, because we know somebody is not calling you every day. Somebody is not even texting you every day. Somebody that just only responds when you reach out. You're not in a relationship. Even if y'all hook up, even if when y'all meet up to each other, y'all have a good time, you're not in a you're in a convenientship.
Yeah,
Committed relationship is when both parties put work in. Both parties have a conversation about it. Both parties are not wasting each other's time.
But I see so many people who are in supposedly situationships and one wants one thing, another one wants another thing.
That's lack of communication, right?
It
there.
is a lack of communication.
Well, what about when so because I'm a relationship person. What happens when people pretend like, so you can, like, they're faking companion, fake.
Right.
So like,
no, that's what I'm not even pretending. They're forcing it to work. You're trying to convince somebody to be with you. You're trying to convince.
Yeah, they want, and then
right.
they
You're trying to save face for all the time and effort you have put into this.
Or what if you just think about the people who just want to be committed? They want to be in a committed relationship. For, like Stacey mentioned, like you mentioned, there's pressure. Okay, so you've got this outside external pressure to get to the goal of commitment. So what do you have to do to get a man to commit to you or a woman to commit to you? And so people have figured out how to present themselves in a way to get people to commit to them. And then once they get the commitment, some of them actually stop doing the things that they did to get you to commit.
Right.
Well, maybe the question is, how do you set expectations in ConvenientShips?
By opening your mouth.
What'd you say? You said open your mouth.
Opening your mouth. Expressing how you feel.
What are your
speaking on your boundaries, your expectations, where your line in the sand is. I mean, all too often, I think that things, other than financial issues, which is the leading cause of divorces, right? But what is the cause? I mean, what's the leading reason why? Because there's no communication. So you're not clearly communicating financial problems, financial discrepancies, financial indiscretions. We're not clearly communicating that. So I will ultimately say the number one cause of relationships ending is lack or poor communication. So why would you, if you take the pressure off, right? If you take the pressure off, because often when we're our ages, right, someone's already been in a relationship, they've been married, they've been divorced, they got kids, they don't have kids, they've been in all realms of ships, right? So the one thing that we seek as we get older is like ease, right? So when you take the pressure off and you don't have all these pre-established stress factors, and you can look at it like, oh, I'm trying to get to know you. Oh, I'm kicking it with you. Oh, it's cuffing season. Like that stuff. When you can move in some, you can glide in it. Like you said, Dana, like we on a slide, we're going to slide up into this. And you may be going, the goal might be the same thing, a relationship, but you going around.
Girl, around the block, all the way around the world to get in the relationship.
But what about performance? So I like to think of it as like each of us needs to look at ourselves and say, we need to be, like I think Stacey, maybe you mentioned it, we got to be good enough for what we're trying to do. So some people so a lot of the therapists, so let's just say, I don't know, I am not a therapist, but I just listen to them very much. And one of the things that was told to me is that people are pretending that, we're in denial about how much chaos is affecting our relationships. There's a lot of chaos going on in your homes, in your relationships, we're creating these things that are making it difficult for us to have good relationships. So people you need to check your chaos like you check your cholesterol, apparently. Like if you want to have a healthy relationship, it needs to be low chaos, right? Like that, like part of it is just recognizing, because that's what a lot of people are watching their relationships fail, and they're trying to figure out what happened. And we're not emotionally and psychologically, we're dealing with a lot of stuff, right?
But I think it's part of it. I think and we're talking about the actual relationship and when it becomes that ConvenientShip. I wonder, does taking ownership, and I think like the lack of communication, using your words to say, oh, I just want to be casual, I'm not looking for anything serious. Or what I think most people do is basically radio silence. So, I'm just going with the flow. I'm going to see how it goes. And you look up 5 years later and you say, well, we're just flowing. Why do we got to add anything to it? That happens a lot. I think
think
that is how
yeah.
people, and Malcolm, you're shaking what you were
That's
saying.
how they waste time and be miserable.
Yes.
Right, but it
I
happens.
agree. Like, why?
Go ahead,
Why?
Malcolm.
Why?
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Oh,
Yes.
it's consistent. It happens on both sides. It
Yes.
happens to men. It happens to women. I'm
What is
telling
the
you,
radio silence about? What do you think that's about, Malcolm?
fear,
Yes.
fear,
Yes.
fear,
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of the answer.
Don't
Yes.
ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Because men don't like
yeah.
rejection. And that's why they sit here and they fill up all the burners with pots of women.
Well, I don't think it's rejection.
We don't like it either, Stacy. Women don't take
okay.
rejection very well.
It doesn't matter if we don't like it.
I haven't met a human being
we don't
We
say
deal
it so
with
loudly.
that doesn't like rejection. Some handle it better than others.
Right.
But, if you met one, let me meet them because I want to know what they doing that they don't handle rejection. It happens. You handle it how you handle it. Some handle it good, some handle it bad. But I think it's just the fear of the unknown.
The fear of the answer. Sometimes you know the answer, you just don't want to hear it or hear it verbalized.
So
then you don't want it to end.
Because it's uncomfortable.
You don't want it to end. Because some people will be like, I've heard this before. Somebody told me this, and I was like, for women, they might say half a man is better than no man at all.
Ugh. And they need to jump off a cliff.
I've heard that before. Like, word? And when
is that a convenient? Is half a man a convenience ship?
No, it's a desperation ship.
Probably.
A desperation.
When I heard it, and then they broke it down, and then I would see people that they would. I was like, oh, okay. I had never heard the term before, and when they broke it down, I was like, a woman told me this term. I was like,
yes, I've heard it.
Yeah, so now I believe it and I see it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Because when Betty Wright sing that part, I don't sing it. I don't sing it.
Lord, go ahead, Keith.
I was going to say, could I ask a question? Because I think one of the things that we're kind of talking about too is, do we see convenientships kind of settling? Like, is a convenientship really, because I'm choosing to have one, am I really settling for
it depends
what I can get right now? To your point, Malcolm, the half a man or the half a woman, because either I'm not ready for it or that's all I'm going to get.
It depends.
That's really what's happening.
Yeah. I think sometimes it depends on who it's benefiting. Is it benefiting just the man? Is it benefiting the woman? Or is it benefiting both of you guys to just have half the person? Now, if you want 100% of that person, you're settling because you're not, whoever it is did not communicate properly to set whatever boundaries or guidelines they wanted out of that convenientship or whatever it is that it's called.
Right.
I think I said that when I did my homework was, my ideal romantic relationship would be companionship, sex, and commitment. That would be my ideal. So if you see me in a relationship in one of those three equations, there is a reason that's stopping it from becoming my ideal relationship. There is a reason, right? Like, and I was told, and women, y'all can confirm that, it's hard for me to say it, but they say women can tell whether they're going to have sex with a man in the first 5 minutes too.
Yes, we can.
Yep.
And so a man, what I've been told is what they do is they try to break the physical barrier as soon as possible. I need to know whether I have potential sex here or not. So I got to find out as early.
I think we do the same thing. It's just
it probably takes us 5 seconds, not 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at you at
You
one.
can tell he could get it or he can't, and that's
some guys know that woman is not feeling me, so he's getting half a Dana. Like, Dana has no interest in me physically, so the only way I can be in her life is to be her friend. Like, she's gonna put me in the friend zone, and maybe I'll get lucky and she'll get desperate. But it is clear she doesn't see me that way. So there is reasons why, and it may be me. I may be in the friend zone for some guy. He may be like, she's not my type, but I really like her. We connect. She's a very trustworthy person. So she's a keeper. I've been told that you're a keeper. I like having you in my life, but we ain't going to be like that. And so maybe that's why I don't commit. I just put you in your spot and hold the spot for the person who'll give me all three. You keep that
Okay,
spot.
so that's called a. So you ain't talking about a convenience ship. You talking about a bench warmer,
Exactly.
a placekeeper.
Yes, that's a spare. They are
But that's
sitting
still a
Hillary.
convenience ship. I think the funny thing is does it show up in the different ways that it shows up in our mind is going to vary on how we move. But the one thing that I do find interesting is in how I see it, and y'all can tell me, are you in a space in your life where you're gun shy, that you're really scared to shoot your shot to something that's possibly real?
Yeah, I mean, I
You
think that happens. Yeah,
are
I
you
think that happens if
constantly deflecting on why, even if you got married, you kind of move in the
There's a lot
same.
of people that's married that's in convenient ships.
I'm talking about married or not. Like, you have been moving through life in convenience ships.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think so. I mean, to your point, Natalie, I think a lot of times if we haven't done the work for ourselves to know ourselves, number one, and to
Mm-hmm.
know our worth and know what we can bring to a relationship and what we expect in a relationship, to Stacey's point, if you haven't really figured out what those boundaries are, that's what you have to do. So I think a lot of people will move into a relationship that is a perpetual convenience ship because they don't know how to move forward through it. And I think that's one of the hard things that, it's not something that you freaking taught as a kid as to how to be in a good relationship and what that really means.
Right.
Hopefully you get some good examples in your life, but none of us were ever taught that shit. We all have to figure that out for ourselves. So, I mean, I think that that's unfortunately the truth is, especially as Black people, that and as Black men, we're not taught how to move through a relationship. We get to see what's on TV. We get to see this socialization stuff. You get to see how men are supposed to behave, or at least what we think they are. And then all of a sudden you realize, well, that shit ain't for me. I should be doing this over here. And hopefully you figure that shit out. But a lot of times we don't ever get there.
But Keith, I also want to just add to what you're saying too. There's men that would give you everything, do all the wine and dine and everything that looks like a boyfriend, acts like a boyfriend, but it's a convenience ship.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it's not necessarily a commitment or relationship. Nobody has said, "Hey, we're in a relationship." It looks like a boyfriend. It acts like a boyfriend. It treats you good. And there's a lot of time people get their feelings misconstrued because, oh my God, he's doing everything. So that's my boo.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, I think to me, the big line between a convenience ship like that and a committed relationship is the convenience ship has all the fun without the work. Being in a
Yes.
committed relationship is work. It takes time to make sure you wake up with the same person. You still smile at them, even though you may not like them. You talk to them about when you feel happy, when you're sad, and all of that
Is
stuff.
it
That
that
means that you really got to
complicated,
put in the
Summer?
work. Oh,
I
it is. Well, I mean, no, it doesn't have to be more complicated than you make it to me.
I, I
Sometimes we bring extra
respectfully
shit to it.
disagree.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's hear
Respectfully
it, Stacey.
disagree because you're devaluing
Yeah.
the ship part of the convenience, right? It's a convenient ship. It's convenient, but this is somebody you actually like, you want to be
Yes,
around, you do
I
things
do.
with, you spend time with. It's just an unofficial relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I feel like it's the ease of it. It's nothing wrong. It's therapeutic. You know what I mean? Keeps my skin clear. Balances my hormones. Keep me from fussing and cussing at my kids. But I gotta actually kind of like you. I gotta want to be around you and spend time with you. It's gotta be some chemistry. It gotta be some zhuzh in the little cuckoo when I see you. Like, come on now. Like, so
I agree.
No, I get it,
appreciate
Stacey. And I'm
the way you
trying to.
devaluing.
It's
Yeah,
only
yeah. I'm
bad
not
when
trying to
it's not
simplify it.
what you want, right? But it's
So that,
only bad when it's not what you want. Like I think
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going.
yeah.
that it's only bad
Right.
when you want more.
One
Like,
one
Oh
person
yeah.
wants something and the
But
other doesn't. Yeah.
right, but that wanting
Yeah.
more, is that communicated?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh,
Is
you mean
it?
No, that wanting more is
communicated?
catching feelings.
Is the
See,
wanting more? So if you catching feelings,
Uh-huh.
right, and you want more, and let's say you've been in this, let's say you've been in this convenientship since the Lord have mercy. Is it time to go, Montaigne? Damn.
It's almost, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been
damn.
here for an hour.
We got
We're
4
getting
minutes.
into early
We
morning
got 10
more.
minutes. Let's wrap this up. So you in this convenientship, you start to catch feelings. It's coming. It's y'all got through Valentine's Day. And so
Girl.
y'all got through Valentine's Day, right? And so it's like, okay, I want to expand the team. What are we doing? It's expansion time. What are we doing? I'm digging you. I want to look. I want a Magic
franchise
Johnson
player?
contract.
You want a
I
franchise
want a
player?
25-year contract on this. What are we doing?
Part owner of the team.
Sometimes, but okay, let's just say, okay, we're using these sports analogies, and I am from Louisville, Kentucky, so we like basketball analogies. Let's just say you're a red shirt or you're a walk-on. So you're a convenience ship.
No. Dana, wait. I'm asking, we are in a convenience ship and it's expanding because we like each other.
It's going to.
But I guess what I'm asking you is, why are we acting like we have not experienced someone saying to you, you are never going to get the scholarship? You can be a walk-on, you can stay in that role. Why are people acting like that doesn't happen to people? Where
it happens all the time.
Yeah, you're never going to have more. They tell you no. You can't, no, we're not, this is it for us. And if you don't want this, then I guess we got to walk away. We got to call it.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, like sometimes they just say, you good for this, but I don't see you as this.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Goes both ways.
It's painful. Yeah, like it happens, right?
Yeah.
But I think the point that Nat was going to, and correct me if I'm wrong, was making sure that you have that conversation to say, okay, now it comes evaluation time. Now I'm going to say, look, I'm going to make sure I'm clear with you. You're not going to be on a starting team. You can heck around if you want to. You can be on a practice squad, but you're never going to get time in a game. So just understand that's what your role is.
This is the real question. Do we really say that? I think most people, we don't say that. We just kind of move ambiguously.
Make an analogy that we don't say that. Some people do, some people don't.
I told you, Natalie, it happened to me recently. I have done it to people. I have done it. It's a very painful thing to have to tell someone. I just don't see it. I just don't see us. Okay.
I think that's why we ain't gonna get into ghosting, but I think that's where people be like, babe, I'm going out. And Stacey like, ain't no ghosting.
It's called uncuffing.
It is called uncuffing, but how do you uncuff with
a lot of terminologies here? Got to remember.
Yeah, let me tell you.
I feel like I need my notebook.
I'm thinking on my YouTube every day. I'm gonna give y'all another word or something because in this research, in the assignment, Miss Natalie, the assignment, like Miss Dana, I done took up the assignment. That's why I'm a PhD right now.
Apparently, yes. Okay.
So you can call me Dr. Cuff from now on.
All right.
Get his face.
Do you tell them when they're free, or you just keep them on ice?
No,
my bad, Dr. Cuff.
You literally ice out.
Yeah.
Stacey, how do you go about doing that? You just tell them.
Well, yeah, I just tell them I don't want to.
We're Virgos.
I don't want to. I try to say it politely. First of all, I'm going to say, oh, I'm busy. First of all, I'm going to be nice. And so I'm going to say, oh, I can't, I'm busy, because I know the Virgo in me, we can be real direct with no intention to harm. So I actively work on my communication as to not be abrasive, right?
Okay.
Yes.
But if you don't get the clue after 20, oh, I don't have the time, then I'll be like, listen here.
We done.
Now, do we think some people are vague on purpose?
Yes, absolutely. That's someone who cares about you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. If you okay, first of all, if you're gonna be curving people, that means you got a halfway care. Because oh Jesus.
Or cowardly. Some people are cowards though.
You got some cowards and then you just got some curvers.
Exactly.
So distinguish the cowards and the curvers, girl.
Yes.
But for me, I'm a communicate, and I'm gonna just tell you, because the way I am, I don't like, I like to be bothered when I want to be bothered, and I like not to be bothered when I don't want to be bothered, and that is why my situationship, my cuffmanship, my convenientship has worked for me. How many of them they work, because
how long have you been cuffing, Stacy? Do you like the convenientship? You like the ease?
Can you be a little more specific?
Oh, okay. Well,
sure
then.
Because
We'll leave it right there.
Wait, because let me give you a good deflection. Because even though cuffing goes back to 2013, circa 10, 11. It wasn't until 13, 14 that it was recognized as a real thing in the dictionary.
Right.
So
I
was officially divorced in 17, so my cuffing years ain't that deep. Let's just say that.
You new to the game, girl. You new to the cuffing game. Not new to it.
Let me tell you, I'm new to this, but I'm true to this, baby. Let me tell you something.
That's from the dirty, y'all.
Go slide on in.
Because you can fool some of the people some of the time, but baby, guess what? You ain't gonna fool me none of the time, because guess what? My eyes wide open.
Thank you, homegirl. There you go. That's what's up.
Yes.
And you know, Virgos always have a plan, Dana, right? We always got a plan for failure. We always know where to exit. We know where exit door is.
I just need 6 months to plan my exit strategy. Just give me 6 months.
Wait a minute. Are y'all planning the exit strategy when y'all get in the relationship?
No, you're in it, and you need to get out. So you're not just gonna leave. That's reckless. You gotta have a plan to leave. I've heard that by the time a woman leaves, she's been gone, literally gone for a while. By the time she physically moves away, physically leaves you, she has mentally and emotionally left you well before that.
So I think I've been cuffing mostly all my life, or not cuffing, convenient shipping all my life until recently, until I make it. I'm just saying. I was
we noticed, Natalie.
I'm just saying.
We noticed.
It's easy. I think the one I wonder, and this is one of my final questions: is there power, especially at this age, in having a convenient ship?
Yes, reclaiming my time.
I think it's very mature way of looking, being wide-eyed open. Like she said, I'm looking at the situation and seeing for what it is and making sure that it makes sense for me. I think a lot of times people are just ruled by their emotions, and they're not really thinking about what's good for them or what makes sense. And so the way Stacy describes it, as long as you're thinking and realizing whether it's good or bad for you, I think that's the best part of this conversation, is requiring people to be real about it.
Yeah. And at this age, we really don't have enough time to waste. Your evaluation shouldn't take that long. And if somebody is fucking with you and taking this sweet old time and is not moving where you want it to move, and you verbalize that, and it's still just not working out for you, you have one or two things. Stay in the convenient ship until you ghost, or you uncuff them, or you hang out, or you move on. You have three choices.
Gentlemen, what about you guys? Y'all been quiet about this one. Y'all know y'all these women are ruthless.
We got game.
I need to spring some holy water on all four of y'all. Go ahead. Malcolm,
I'm just listening. She's got mad game. It's nothing new. It's nothing that you just hearing it from different people.
Do you as men, do you guys, because I asked you earlier, is the intro or enter into a relationship with the mindset of convenience? Is there a power to that, or is it y'all really not thinking about it?
Nah, it ain't no maybe now you might have a purpose in your dating space, because you're your time is valuable, and you don't have that bandwidth that you had in your 20s and your 30s. So maybe now in your 50s, you're right, your time. So you might be a little bit more purposeful with what you're doing and what you're looking for. And you probably don't, you might not have the patience to really be being gray with somebody and all that other stuff. So you just put it out there and see if they nibble, they nibble. If they not with it, they not with it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think to Malcolm's point, it is. I don't know if we look at it in terms of powerful or not. It's just that's just how we move and say that either we're into you, we're not into you. It's something we're interested in. It's something we're not interested in. And to you
Yeah.
guys' point, pretty quickly where you're going to bucket somebody, and then based on how they move with you, they move into a different place, right? So that's just how it is. I would say from a
Or
man's
how
perspective,
you
I don't know
move
if
with
it's
them and you move into a different place.
absolutely, yeah, because like we may catch feelings and you might not. That's exactly right.
Right,
That
right,
could happen too,
right.
because that has happened. So
That
it's
happens.
just you got to figure out how to do it. But I won't say it's necessarily a power. I think the power comes in terms of giving yourself and being exposed to. Now I'm putting all my feelings out on the table, but you haven't given me back your feelings. So now that's kind of transferring that power to someone else to make a decision about how the relationship is, as opposed to it being mutual and growing together. So I don't know. I wouldn't see it as necessarily power or not. I just think it's no matter what, when you enter in a relationship, you are gonna give up something and hold on to something, if that makes sense.
So in the past, I have had situations where I've made it clear from the get-go, hey, this is what it is for me. You either take it or you either leave it. And this is what I don't want to happen, or this is what I want to happen. I've said it clear, just like that. And if there is an agreement or if there's not an agreement, it doesn't matter. But it depends, though, on who it is. Because if it's somebody that I value or I want to be in a relationship with, I'm not doing that.
Right.
But if it's someone where I just want to go on a date, to a concert or whatever, this is what it is. Don't get your feelings hurt, because this is what it is.
And that's the beauty of a convenience ship. Well, I mean, we have just talked for an hour and a half, almost complicating what is so easy, right? We're verbally complicating something so easy. It's not, it can be monogamous, it cannot be monogamous, it can be whatever you want it to be. You do what you want with it. Whatever makes it easier for you. Right.
Right.
That's
I
the
agree,
beauty of it.
Stacey. I agree. The problem is, I think a lot of a lot of people have stigmas around it.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's the stigma, but I think it's more so not being clear about what you're looking for and then making assumptions about shit.
Well,
I
that's
think
what
that's
I
the
would
problem.
it right
That's
with
the
the
problem.
layers of all the things that we have been talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are just like, I'm not in a convenience ship. I don't
Well,
want to
I
be in I want to be in a
Well,
relationship.
I mean,
but you gotta
nowadays,
give.
are people even, it's just like, listen, are people even like categorizing different types of relationships that they're in? Are we going
Yeah.
around saying I'm in a situationship, but not a convenience ship? I'm cuffing, but are we
No,
going
I'm
around?
not. But I'm
Yeah,
not.
because people love titles.
They
Yeah.
do.
There's
Right.
there's
They
a
do.
segment of people that love titles. They need to, that's the people that like, I'm the manager, I'm the supervisor, I'm the this, I'm the that. So they like these titles because
There have
they
been
like
people,
to.
even tonight, people
They're
have said, I'm a relationship person.
they're
I like
organized.
relationships. I don't like when I hear that, they want a formal, committed relationship. They're not about the convenience ship. And I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
if you're in a convenience ship, though, getting on your way to a relationship or not, are
or
we
not.
saying what stage we are in the process? Like
Mhm.
what?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody come up to you and ask you, so
At
what's your
this
relationship
point,
status?
I
Oh,
think
I'm in a convenience ship.
one of the
Yes.
questions
Relationship staff. Yeah.
one of the questions is just also, and I'm gonna close the show out with some of the questions from the audience. But one of the things is also the time element.
Yes.
The time element. Convenience ships can last forever if you want them to. right? And then some people stay thinking they're in a relationship. This is the real shit. Thinking they're in a relationship when it's really all a convenient shit.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But the
Natalie,
idea of being in a relationship belittles and values what they have been spending their time on.
But Natalie, do you think people really don't know that they're in a convenientship?
I don't think people don't, because they don't have anything to compare it to.
Right.
You can't assume that everybody knows what a good, healthy relationship is.
Exactly.
But they don't have
That's
one
the sad part.
Right.
That's the sad part.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
is true.
Let's take some questions from the chat, because the chat's been interesting tonight.
I like Matt.
One question from my brother.
Oh no.
Mr. Matt. What's up, Matt?
He said, because he's never on here, he said, what is the difference between, what did he say? A
prenup.
An exit plan versus a prenup, ladies.
I mean, one is
okay. Well, I mean, I am an attorney, so I guess a prenup is a very serious conversation about a very serious relationship. So that means y'all gonna be making some serious investments, and you have things, like careers, children, very serious. It's a very adult conversation, a prenup. So you basically go in saying, I know we love each other and we're gonna be here together forever, but should something happen, maybe I die, you die, how are we going to treat these baby mamas? Like, it's a very, very serious adult, very rational way of looking at it.
I think he's saying for ladies and how y'all say exit plan versus prenup.
Well, that's what I was saying. You do the prenup going in with the understanding that we've already discussed, okay, because when women decide to get married today, they've got to believe it could end in divorce. Right? Like there's just so much, concern about the success rate of marriages. So most people, when they go into marriage, they don't want a divorce, but you have to think in the back of your mind, it could happen. So are you going to give up your career? Are you going to move across, give up your job? Like, are you willing to do this for relationships? Okay. So that these are the thoughts you have going in when you're making the commitment.
Right.
What kinds of things, what kind of risks are you willing to take when you make this commitment?
Right. Okay. And I think he understands that. I think it was more so about how we think about exit plans. I think he's trying to
exit plan is when you're trying to cut off the investment. You're like, this is not going to work out. It's never, you've put in enough time and you realize it's not going to be what you want it to be. You've invested time and you've done everything you can do. So now you want to stop the investment. Now you want to cut off the investment. So it takes, like, you want to uncuff. You want to, cut your ties. So you have to plan for that. So that the exit strategy is about getting out and stopping investing. So a woman might start, upping her income because now she's not going to have two incomes. Like, it's just these are both very rational decisions that you do because these are the realities of being, dependent on someone or in a relationship.
Okay. Other questions?
Love and relationships are sunk costs.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Another comment. Love and relationships are sunk costs.
Yeah, you gotta walk away. Like, you can't don't be bitter.
Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. So back, what was the other one? What are you guys looking for now? Companionship or a full-on committed relationship? What are y'all looking for now? Stacey, I think you said it, but
I said so much I don't remember what I said.
I can tell you.
What are you looking for, Dana?
I actually like being married. I love the idea. I told you it's a trifecta. That's a derby term. I like having commitment. I love long-term romantic relationships. That's why I do it. I think it's ideal. So I would love to have that again, but I just think now there's no pressure. There's no rush. So I would like to go in order. I'd like to start off with a companionship, connection. We keep talking. We find ourselves having long conversations, making plans together. and then the sex comes, or we are at least attracted to each other. I like those two things to be at least worked out before I ever commit, because I know the risk. So now I know I've been on the other side. So I would like it to go like naturally and organically is what I want.
All right. Malcolm.
Kind of, I guess what Dana said, I guess from a man's standpoint, like you just wanted to, you want to meet him, you want to vibe, see where it goes, communicate, and then, it's a process. You can't sidestep that process, and then you take it from there. What we gonna do, or what are you looking for once, maybe, as Dana said, the first two things kind of move to that, like, oh, okay, I like being around you, I enjoy your space, you enjoy my space, sex, and now it's like, oh, okay, like, what we gonna do? Are we gonna be in a committed relationship? What we gonna do? Then it starts to, those questions
Malcolm,
start.
are you asking that, or she's asking that? Who's usually asking that for you?
When now?
Who's usually asking, what are we gonna do? What are we doing?
It's probably both. Either way, it doesn't. It's no ego thing for me. Like, who asked first?
Okay.
Probably for me, I would ask, because it's time. Like, I'm giving away my time. My time is valuable now, so I probably may ask that. Like, all right, because that means if I'm into something, then I got to give up something else.
Yes.
That was my thing before you came into that space, and I don't mind it, but I need to at least know, okay, I'm going to give up X, Y, Z. I know I'm going to have to if I'm trying to build this relationship with you.
I don't like giving. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but how else?
That's true. No, you do give up certain
if
things.
If you got to work around, let me know. I'd love to hear it, but I think
I hear you.
Especially if you're single, if somebody comes into your space, then when you were single, you were moving a certain way,
right?
Good, bad, or indifferent. So if you're going to meet somebody and you're looking to be in a relationship, or whatever ship you put it on, there's going to be something that somebody's going to have to give up, because the bandwidth now for time is magnified as you've gotten older, because you might be working 10, 12-hour days, all those types of things that you're doing now that you might not have been doing in your 20s or 30s.
Right. Stacy?
I'm sorry. I was also entertaining texts from the roster. So
well, there we go. You answered your question, girl.
Yes.
You answered your own question.
Sorry.
Right.
We're in prime season here.
Okay, so you getting them together. You lining them up.
Get it together. Line them up.
Line them up.
Because
we also gonna have Miss Stacy on Stack Singles tomorrow. So gentlemen, y'all can come there. Keith.
He's taking a drink.
He is taking a drink.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just taking a sip. I need to take a sip before I answer the question. Yes, you were asking me, what am I looking for now?
I know, I know where you are now. And we know
I was about to say that's kind of an obvious question.
It's kind of an obvious question. I know it was not what you expected, but now that you are,
it wasn't. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of alluded to that earlier. I mean, it's been a pleasant surprise and a great journey so far, and we're looking forward to make our next step into being absolutely committed to each other and moving in that direction. So, was that what I was looking for? No. Once you find a person that you're evenly yoked with, and exactly who you want to be with, then you go after it and you make it happen.
All right. And somebody's like, y'all better go on. Anthea, you get to answer this question. What are you looking for now?
Well, I like the convenience of a relationship. I really do. I like stability. I don't like a convenientship leaves the door open too wide. And the chaos about that wide open door for me is not something I enjoy. Because guess what? When you're making these sort of decisions about who's this and who's that and which one is the starting five and all that stuff,
Yeah.
you end up lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And loneliness can lead to a lot of desperate decisions.
Yes. Yes. Well, y'all, let's close this out. I do believe that there is nothing wrong with the convenience ship if that's where you are. I think it's how if it's something that you choose to do. I think all you have to do is be honest and upfront, and just be kind to the person that you're with, because you are also occupying their time as well as them occupying theirs. And if you catch feelings, communicate
Yep.
or be vague. But either way, know where you stand. And if you do start to expand into other territories, which we're going to talk about later this week, courtship, commitment, and most importantly, the communication to get there, think about what that is. So that's all we got for y'all tonight. Catch me and Stacy on Stack Singles tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's gonna be lit because I want to see what she got to say. Lord have mercy. I just look at you like, what's coming out
And
of her
yeah,
mouth next?
you know my mouth is real rogue since I got these braids in my head. I done told y'all Stacy with the braids is somebody else right now.
Get it.
This my me pass to say whatever I want to say.
All right, boo. And then we also, if you guys are interested, we are going to Antigua for Sailing Week. It's international. You got folks from all over. It's going to be lit. It is partnered with Sunshine to Sunset, Anthea's brand. And so we are going to have a ball. All the excursions are included, all the hotel. So put your deposit down for your hotel by October 12th and join us. It's going to be a ball. That's it, y'all. Come to the after party. We're going to drop the after party in the chat, and we will see y'all there, and these folks will be here.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Keith. And of course, my girl Sunshine. We will see y'all next week.
Okay.
Cuffing continues. The cuffing conversation continues. Catch us. Join the chat. Join the Facebook group. Join the IG. See you guys soon.
Okay.
And also click subscribe and share our channel. See you.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. I'm gonna do this in one take. Thought I told you that these bitches ain't shit. Best stay focused on your money. I thought I told you that these niggas ain't shit. One day they fighting with you, next they running. Tell me how I'm supposed to trust you around my bitch. Ain't never said that I was into sharing. It's such a shame cause I would love a wife and kids. I'd probably reach 1 million before marriage. Fuck that love and marriage. I'ma stay married to the grind. I guess that's love and marriage shit. This marriage ain't loving all the time. We living in a dark place. I'm just trying to find my way. I might fall, but listen closely. I won't stop till I'm in first place. Swear I'ma be the fucking best to ever do this shit. Go off on tangents every time I get a mic and shit. Get on these stages, drop these vocals when I talk my shit. And let me talk my shit. I could never make these things up. Till you walk in my shoes, you can't judge. It's been up and down, he's been out of town, so she keep me around. Yeah, she keep me around. She want me to say
Better keep my pussy tight.
Join Stacked After Hours, The Spot, where grown men and women gather to have candid, also honest discussions about the state of life, love, and more. The Spot is a hybrid of in-person and weekly virtual gatherings. Join our Facebook group and answer our daily questions. Subscribe to our YouTube for our weekly live talk shows and join us on Zoom for our talk show after parties for lively conversations with other opinionated, grown and sexy professionals. Just search, like, follow, and subscribe to Stack After Hours on Facebook groups and YouTube. Also like and follow our brand pages at Be Stacked Wellness on Facebook and IG. So wherever you are, at home or abroad, pull out your laptop, tablet, or smartphone and join in the conversation with the members of Stacked After Hours, The Spot, by Be Stacked Wellness. See you there.
As you know, and if you are new to the Stacked family, we always keep our conversations lit and enlightening.